Okay, another character video. Today we're going to be doing Sheva from Resident Evil 5. Probably one of the more underrated characters in my opinion. She's got a lot of interesting backstory. Some of it mostly quite sad, but it has a lot of involvement with Umbrella and stuff like that, which is very, very interesting. A lot of people also hope she returns in some way. There's already some ideas around her returning in Resident Evil 9, along with other BSAA agents that are close to Chris, such as Jill, Barry, and stuff like that. There's light theories going around, and that's a video for another time. But today we're going to go over her backstory and how she got to where she is now. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. So Sheva grew up in the West African region, which was at the time associated with a lot of guerrilla fighting. A lot of the population in that area were employed by Umbrella, working in a plant in the area. This was basically to protect them from the fighting, as well as having some extra work force for Umbrella in the laboratories. They weren't paid a lot, but there was enough to live off of, and Sheva's parents were people that worked there as well. So, you know, obviously they were kind of getting paid enough to get by, but and again, it was kind of security against all the fighting. So it was a positive thing to do, I would say, even though it's Umbrella. Now, around the time Sheva was about 8 years old, the facility had a bit of a containment leak, and locals who had unknowingly been developing basically bioweapons. With help from the army and the Umbrella's anti-bioweapon soldiers, the factory was completely destroyed, and every worker who was a witness to the event was also killed. So Sheva's parents were killed by Umbrella due to, you know, this leak, this containment issue that they had in the facility. Sheva, being a child, obviously survived and was taken in by her uncle, who hoped for kind of some help to look after her by Umbrella, because obviously her parents had been killed, but he received literally nothing, so he was left to kind of raise her on his own. Eventually, however, Sheva did decide to leave her uncle as she was suffering from a lot of malnutrition, and decided to head home. On her way there, she was picked up by a convoy of guerrilla fighters who believed that the containment failure that happened at the facility was in fact deliberate in order to test out the bioweapons that Umbrella were making there. And over the next years, basically a long amount of time, Sheva kind of lived with the guerrillas. They trained her to fight. They gave her more meaningful roles in life other than being a kid. Obviously, she was kind of taught to clean and obtain materials for suppliers and stuff like that. So they kind of basically look after her as one of their own. Eventually, however, it came apparent that the guerrillas are actually trying to buy bioweapons from Umbrella to help fight against the government. And essentially this American kind of official came to Sheva and said, look, we can help if you give us some evidence that this is actually happening. And what she did was unlock the door in secret to the compound and basically recorded a meeting going on in there, which kind of exposed the fact that they were making deals with Umbrella to buy bioweapons. And then the Americans came in and basically arrested everyone there, and you know, it could have stopped a big issue in Africa at the time. To thank her for helping the American officials, they offered her a life in America and handed her a passport, and one of the kind of higher-ups in that government basically kept Sheva with her and was her legal guardian for a while. 2 to 3 years after this, she was offered a career in the BSAA by the official that was looking after her, and she would essentially go on to be assigned to Josh Stone's unit. Josh is a character in Resident Evil 5 who saves Chris and Sheva from all the motorcycle goers early on in the game, and he pops up every now and again throughout the game too, and he basically trains her and helps her get experience with dealing with, you know, weapons and stuff like that. At the end of the training, the BSAA chose her to become an agent in the African division due to her experience in infiltration and smuggling while living with the guerrillas in her early life, and obviously this was of interest to them because she was able to kind of slip in and undetected basically in certain situations, especially in Africa, which did have a bioweapon issue, you know, basically the whole time. And then finally, in 2009, Sheva was assigned to work alongside Chris Redfield throughout Kijuju to keep the natives from becoming hostile over the fact that he's American. Obviously, due to past events, Americans in the area is a bit of a concern to them, due to the fact that Umbrella had obviously had a massive containment leak in the area, and, you know, it's not a good image to have, really. But unknown to them, the whole area of Kijuju had been completely overrun by the virus that was currently there, the Ouroboros virus, and it was just a nightmare, really. And that basically leads into the events of the game. So that's basically all of her backstory. One thing I mentioned in the video I made when I was speaking about the content for RE5 is originally Sheva was still going to be in the militia, but they changed it, and they honestly fleshed out her story a lot more. Like, it would have just been she joined the militia to fight back against the government umbrella and kind of stayed there, but instead she ended up being a BSA agent for the African division, which is pretty cool. Nice change of character and story, that's for sure. But yeah, I think a lot of fans of the series do like the character a lot. Again, she's not really been mentioned or in the series in any way since Resident Evil 5, so a lot of people are wondering if she'll ever come back, alongside obviously Jake as well, which we spoke about a couple days ago. Again, there is a small theory going around that RE9 will reintroduce a lot of BSA agents we know of, that know Chris, such as Sheva, Jill, Barry, Rebecca. All those people might be coming back, because apparently Resident Evil 9 is the last Resident Evil game in the timeline, so after that it's just going to be kind of games picked from the series, but who knows, that's not 100% guaranteed yet, so we'll have to wait and see there. But yeah, do leave your thoughts on her down below. Do you like the character? Do you think she should return? Did you not like the character? Were you not a fan? Do let me know either way. But yeah, that is going to do it for her. Remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more Resident Evil content, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another video.